I am Lukman Al-Hakim from GDSC IIUM, and my team and I would like to express a warm welcome to everyone joining us today for the Figma workshop. We're thrilled to see so many of you who are interested to learn more about this topic, to learn more about Figma. So this workshop is to enhance our understanding on Figma and how you can utilize it in your projects, in your future projects, in class assignments, etc. So first of all, before we dive in, we have a few quick housekeeping items for you to keep in mind. So firstly, to minimize background noise and avoid disruption, please keep your microphones muted. Number two, we encourage your participation, so feel free to raise your hands and type your questions in the chat box throughout the workshop. And also feel free to share your thoughts or reactions during the presentation. This can help create more interactive environment for everyone. And then also, we encourage respectful and positive communication in the chat. So please avoid using all caps or posting irrelevant messages, etc. And also, for your information, this workshop will be recorded and the link will be shared in the feedback form. So with that said, now let's give a warm welcome to our esteemed speaker, Muazzim Mansor Sanusi. Are you here with us, Muazzim?
Yep, I'm here. Thank you.
So cool. So we have Muazzim here. He is a designer with extensive experience in product design, in branding, design system, and specializing in no-code. He is currently working in LottieFiles as a product designer, right? So which makes him the perfect person to guide us through this workshop. So to learn more about him, you can check out his portfolio at muazzim.com, which in and of itself is a truly impressive website, I must say. And yeah, we can clearly see his passion in design. So without further ado, I guess I'll hand over the floor to Muazzim to begin the workshop. So the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Lukman. All right, so yeah, hi everyone, hello, assalamualaikum and very good morning. Yeah, I see a lot of people here, almost 40 people. And yeah, I would say it's like the most participation I get in my workshops so far. Yeah, because I do workshops also, but it's mostly like at least 16 to 20 people only. But now today's is like wow, it's almost 40, and yeah, I think we have more. It's coming, right? Yeah. By the way, yeah, thanks for the introduction, Lukman. So I think for start, I will share my screen. Okay, I don't. Okay. Everyone can see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so yeah, I think let's begin with a bit of introduction. And today workshop is basically it's a Figma workshop. So it's actually suitable for beginners who just want to like start learning and using Figma. So this is what we're gonna cover today. So we're gonna look at Figma and FigJam, and then we learn about Figma basics, and then layout tools, and then we're gonna touch a bit on the components, styles and variables a bit, and then lastly we talk about prototyping in Figma. Okay, so throughout the workshop we're gonna like design or build our first UI. Okay, so I will guide you guys on that. Okay, so yeah, a bit of more introduction, more about myself is yeah, basically I start my journey as a web developer in 2018, and I'm a graduate from UTM, okay, University Technology Malaysia, in a software engineering. So after I graduate, I working as a web developer for 2 years at Dyson. After that, during that time is MCO, the COVID hits, right? And at the time, I have my family. I have my first kid coming, so I decide to what we call to resign and look for another opportunity. And then I start learning by myself to become a designer, because I find even when I'm working as a developer, I kind of interested in doing some design works. I start learning Figma by myself, watching YouTube videos, reading articles and so on. And then I got my first designer job in 2020. So I'm working at like a startup based from Hong Kong called Fana. So I worked there like almost 2 years or so. And then after that, I moved to LottieFiles until now as a product designer. So basically it's just like around 4 years I'm in this design field, right? Yeah, so honestly, I'm not really an expert or whatever, but I like to share at least my bit of knowledge to every one of you here. Cool. All right. So before we start, right, I think we should like do some bit of warm up. Okay, a bit of warm up. So I would like to have like a simple activity with you guys. So we call it like uh fun game. You all can see my screen, right? Okay. All right. So I will share this link to you all. By the way, before I forgot, is everyone have already Figma account? Is there anyone that doesn't have? Please raise your hand. All good. Okay then. So wait. Okay, we share this link to you guys. So we're gonna do some activities here. Anyone can edit. Okay, so you guys can jump into the file. Okay, while we wait, so just 18. So while we're waiting for everyone to join, I will create few things. Okay, great. And tag. Okay, and then we drop a few ships here. Okay, make it no, make it a bit your name. So I see someone already start doing some stuff there. Okay, please be patient first. Okay, don't do anything yet. So how many people? So we have 55 people. So I will share the link again if someone just joined. So we should have like at least 55 people here in this file. Okay. Okay. All right. Is but wait, don't do anything yet. Okay. Okay, so 50 people. So okay, so I think we can just get started. Waiting for everyone. All right. Okay, so what we're gonna do is that we have this section here. We call it section. So name tag. So this is gonna be your name tag for everyone. So you can copy this, like go with Command C. Sorry. Okay, go with Command C and then just paste to anywhere in the Figma in this file. Okay, and enter your name. Okay. So what you're gonna do is that you need to create your own name tag and decorate it with the shape given with a Hari Raya thing. Okay, so we're still in Hari Raya. Okay, so you're gonna decorate a bit so you can do anything to your name tag here, right? So for example, like this one, I copy, I rotate it, I change to color green, I made it look like a ketupat, right? Right there. Okay. So I give everyone just like 3 minutes to do this. Is everyone okay? Yeah, even though everyone already start doing it already. Okay, let's start. Let's play some song. Oh, wow. Okay, we have like 30 seconds left. Okay, done. All right. Okay. So I see some using. And look my wow. He did a perfect ketupat. Even I didn't get a perfect ketupat. All right. Cool. I tried to make like a firework, like, merchant stuff, but I don't know. Okay. Emily, what's Mickey Mouse related to Hari Raya? Is Emily here? Emily? No. All right. Okay. Yep. So that's just a bit of warm up. All right. So hopefully you guys have a bit of fun. Okay. Release some of tension or stress. Okay. So yeah. So today, yeah, hopefully we get to know each other, right? And yeah, we learn something new today. Okay. All right. So thanks everyone for the participation. Okay. And really nice looking at everyone works here. Okay. So we can leave this file for now so that we can focus on our what we're gonna learn today. Okay. Right. So yeah. We can start. Right. So all right. Okay, I just noticed question now in chat. So we're gonna answer that in a few minutes. Okay. Um all right. So first is what is Figma? Okay. So is anyone here who didn't know about Figma? Just raise your hand. I mean, yeah, just raise your hand if you don't really know about Figma. Okay. All right. Okay, it's quite few. Okay, so basically we talk about Figma. So today is our Figma workshop. So what is actually a Figma? So Figma is a real-time collaborative design tools. So mainly it's used for design tools. Okay, to design a UI. We call it UI, user interface of any of the digital product like websites, okay, mobile apps. Okay, so whatever you see in in your phone, in your what we call desktop right now. Okay, what you see on the web, on the website, on your phone, all the apps like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all those things. So it start by the design. Okay, it's not that apps or website come out with just a click or whatsoever. So it start with a design, with a process. Okay, so that process is with a design, and Figma is one of the tools that we can make it happen. We can make the design of all those websites and apps that we see. Okay, so there's actually a lot of similar tools if you know about Sketch, Adobe XD, and then we have UXPin, Penpot, Lunacy, and many more. Okay, out there. So there's a lot of design tools that actually like similar with a Figma. Okay, and we talk about why we use Figma later, right? So basically, Figma is a web-based application. Okay, so it's actually web-based, so it works on any platform. Okay, you don't need to install it. You don't need to only work for Apple device. Okay, Sketch is only for the Apple device. Okay, so only for the Mac user, right? But Figma is not. Figma is a web, so it's like a Facebook.com. So where you just type Figma.com, you will search. You will see. So for example, yeah, Figma, right? So it's a web based. Okay. So this is the Figma website. so you can really go into it if you want, but I didn't want to go through all this. Okay. All right. And yeah, so this is the pricing basically. So we have like free. Okay, so Figma is actually a free tool, so everyone can start using it. So but it has a limitation, of course, for free products, right? Like you can only have um you can have like full features of most of the Figma. Okay, and you can have like unlimited personal draft. Okay, you can have like unlimited files, but you can only have like 3 projects that you can collaborate with other people's. Okay, right, so we'll talk about that later. So these are the pricing, and luckily for students and educators, you can have like a special plan for you, which is called education plan. Okay, so it's actually, as long as you're a student and as long as you work in education sectors, you are free to use Figma uh, with a professional plan. Okay, so yeah, if you have already Figma, you can go into the figma.com/pricing. Okay, and you will see this here, right? Free for students and educators. Okay, so click on that and click on get verified. Okay, so it will ask you about your education information. So if you're a student, so you can just click on students and what is the thing of education or institution type. So in this case, if every one of you is what we call university or college students, so you can go into the higher education and just fill in your details. What is your school name? So like for example, formula, University of Technology, University Technology of Malaysia. Okay, so school not listed. So if not listed, you just click here and yeah, you need to type again your name and website if any. So your study, okay, your course, your field of study, and yeah, upload a copy of your class schedule. So it's for to verify that you really a student. Okay. And what I expected graduation date. So just fill in and click agree all this and just submit. Okay. And you will get your what we call your verification through email. Okay. So yeah, that's it. So right now I'm looking at my work account, so I cannot apply for this. Okay, but you, all of you, as long as you're students, so you can apply for this, right? Okay, cool. Because in this workshop, like most of the things that I'm gonna show is most using the pro version. Okay. Yeah, but it's still okay. The free you guys can still do most of the things that we're gonna learn today. So no worries. So you can do this later or now. Okay, cool. Muhammad Firdaus Hamid. You have any question? You raise your hand. No. Okay. If you know, then we can just continue. All right. So Figma has basically 2 main or core products, which is Figma and also FigJam. So FigJam is what we just do just now in here. We do like our all the beautiful name tags here, right? And basically FigJam is mostly on the ideation part. Okay, you can this is where it's like an online whiteboard. Okay, so you can put in all your ideas, okay, all your sketch, okay, all your sketch or your draft or your notes, okay, and it's used mainly for the brainstorming session. Okay, so we're using like because Figma is their main like features is or unique selling points is the real time collaborations. So where you collaborate with other people at the same time, like we just did just now. Okay, so with FigJam here, you can do sort of like brainstorming session, discussion session, and so on, using this FigJam, right? Okay, just imagine like you have like a big whiteboard and you have a discussion with your team and how you take notes, how you put in your stickies, right? So that is all that what we call FigJam can do as well. Okay, and Figma is of course like I mentioned is mainly used for the designs. So what is you can do with Figma is like I say website, mobile apps, and even for me, I'm using it to create a presentation slides. Like even for this workshop, I use Figma as my slide as well. And then we can have like vector design. Okay, you can create a logo, you can create an icon illustration in Figma. Okay, so if you not really a fan of Adobe Illustrator or all those like heavy design tools, so you can use Figma to do that. Okay, and like I said, yeah, brainstorming you can create a flow, use a flow, mind maps, okay, charts, wireframes, and so on using the FigJam. And then yeah, all the graphic tools like even you can do a social media post and so on. Yeah, actually you can do a lot more than this, right? I've seen that someone even make a house plan using a Figma and even create a game, okay, a really working or functional game with Figma. So it's really insane, right? Cool. Right. So far, have any question? All good. If all good, please give a thumbs
All
up.
good.
Cool. All right. So, all right. Then we go back into why we use Figma. Okay. So basically, like I said, it's a web-based platform. Okay. It's really easy to use. You just need internet connections, right? And it's a real-time collaboration because right now nowadays uh people mostly or company mostly like prefer to or we already start like work from home, right? Remote working. Okay, so with this real-time collaboration is a really like main selling point for Figma is a main feature that you can really host a lot of people can really collaborate at the same time. Okay, end-to-end design tools like I said, because we have like two products. Okay, so each of these product has their own purpose, so you can use Figma right from the ideation, wireframe design, and even prototyping. Okay, just by using Figma. So before Figma you need to use different kind of tools, right? But Figma, you have everything inside it. Okay. And then community. So it has a lot, like a very big community. Okay. And it's very active. Then we have like lastly is plugins and API. So this I'm gonna show later. So it allows like endless possibilities inside the Figma. Okay. What Figma already have is already awesome. It's already really great. But then with addition of the plugins, all these third-party plugins, you can have like maybe something like integration with AI, artificial intelligence. Okay. So yeah, that's the cool thing. All right. And again, so if you know, this is actually a survey designed to survey last year. So I think they're starting this like I'm not sure if it's starting like 2021, but even for like all past years, Figma is still leading in the industry. So this is the survey that which are the tools that the company or the designers around the world use in their works. Okay, so as you can see that Figma is way ahead from the rest. Okay, and even this is like a good summary, like UI design, Figma, prototyping, Figma, advanced prototyping, also Figma, digital whiteboarding, FigJam, Miro, design system, Figma. So all this thing is like just related tools that mainly we use for the UI UX design, right? But as you can see that Figma is leading, so it's become industry standard already, right? So which means that if you really want to become a designer or more specifically a UI UX designer, if you did not master or did not learn about Figma, then you're gonna miss a lot, right? Okay, so yeah, that's why we're here today to upskill our Figma skills. Right. Yeah. So this is just an overview again on like before and after we have Figma. Right. So before Figma, you like sketch on the paper and then you like use or put it in the tools like Sketch or any of these tools as well. And you create a prototype. So before Figma, there's a tool like, if I remember, that's called a pop prototype on paper, where you sketch on the paper and then you take the picture by your phone, and then from there you can like link part of your sketch to make it interactive prototype. Okay. Right. But now, yeah, everything is in Figma, so you have to do a lot of revision and then you need to update the file, right? So that's a joke, right? You will see like, oh, design letters dot AI, okay, and then design letters dot AI. So all the versioning is really, you know, troublesome. If we using like file system and all that stuff. Um, yeah, so there's a lot of go back and forth. Okay, but now in Figma, everything is inside the Figma, even the version, all the feedbacks the team can give directly inside the Figma. So you don't need to have a separate what we call separate documentation or whatsoever. So everything can live inside Figma. Okay, from sketch and until to the what we call to the developer handoff. Okay, and yeah, just before we really jump into the Figma or do the hands-on, just to mention also like, yeah, there's also a disadvantage of Figma, like because of its web-based application, you need an internet connection to get it working, right? It has offline support, but it's kind of limited, right? So let's say if I open this file, okay, already, and I disconnect from the internet, and I want to work offline, as long as the file is remain open, I can do whatever I want. Okay. But still there's a bit of limitation, like you cannot access the team library and so on. But and then after you get your connection back, then everything will be synced again. Okay. But it's still limited. It's not really, you can work fully offline, right? And also the third one is not really suitable for like a complex design, like packaging design, 3D modeling, digital arts, okay, all that stuff. Okay, like I say, it's more on the digital product, like website, mobile apps. Okay, so it's mostly used for that. Okay, right. So all good, all good. Okay, and right, we can then start. So right, okay. So before we really jump into this, honestly, I don't really have like a proper slides for our workshop, because I want most of us is what we call really hands on this together. Okay, so if I explain too fast or I do things too fast, just raise your hand. stop me, and I can always repeat again. Okay, cool. Right, so okay, to start with Figma and FigJam. Okay, so first we just gonna walk through the interface of these products. Okay, so let's go with FigJam first. Okay, because it's really simple here. So in here you have like what you call uh really like a whiteboard. Okay, an infinity canvas. So if you zoom out, it's really big. Okay, so this is just a small part of it. Okay, so you can move around a bit. Okay, so you have just two like main UI in here at the top and also at the bottom. So at the top is mostly like all the extra stuff, like you can have a timer. Okay, so it's good like I did just now. Okay, you can set like a what we call time. Okay, stopwatch to like really limit the time. Okay, just now like 3 minutes, always 3 minutes. Okay, and you can also like play some music. I'm not sure if you can hear, but yeah, you can try yourself. Then we can have a templates where you can have like a lot of templates already in FitJam. So if you want really start to with, for example, like you want to do mind map, okay, there's a bunch of templates available already. So you can just add it and then boom, you have that. Okay, so you can customize all these things based your own use case. Okay, right? And then you can have this like we call it as a comment. Okay, so you can click it, you can choose anywhere in the FigJam and put in comment. So for example here, I really like Figma. Okay. So with this, all this thing is you will be shown once you click the comment. You will be all see all the comments available in this file here. Okay. So when you click on it, it will show exactly. Right. Okay. So and like at the top right is mostly on the you can see like people in this file. So we have 30 people now, and this is mostly on the share file. So if you want to share this file to anyone, you can just copy the link and share it. Okay, and you can set it like the limitation or also like if you want to set only people invited to this file can edit, and then you can change also the access to it, can view or can edit. Well, what is can review? Okay, all right. Okay, so that's pretty much. So because of it's web-based, right? So you don't need to like export it or save it as a Figma file or whatsoever. So you just need to share the link to the people, and then the people can really, look into the file. Okay. All right. All clear. Okay, then we can move on to this button below. So you can have like marker here. You can do some stuff like sketching. Okay. If you have an iPad, it's really awesome. Okay. You can, because we have like FitJam in iPad. Okay, so you can use your Apple Pencil and just draw, just do the sketch. Okay. Inside your iPad. So you can do a lot of things like here. Okay, and you have like markers, all this thing like tape. I don't know the function of this tape, but yeah, you can erase. Oops, sorry. Okay, then you can have shapes like we did just now. Okay, and from here, it's a bit messy, but it's okay. Right. So for example, like we can do what we call flow or my map whatsoever. So if you hover on this, you can just click and you will have the next what we call next steps or next flow whatsoever. Okay, maybe home screen and then next again. What we call menu list, for example. Okay, so you can have like really what we call, you can move around all the things. Okay, and then you can put stickies as well. So this stickies is mainly like to put some notes. Okay, so when brainstorming, so you're giving an ideas okay discussion. So you can put up your notes here so that everyone can see it. Because if you use comments, not really everyone can see the comments. So you just need to click on it to see what's your thought and so on. But if you use stickies, okay, it's more like visible to other people as well. Okay, you can have a text and so on. So all these tools is really basics. Basically, you can really explore by yourself. Okay, so for FigJam, I'm not gonna like really go through really deep because our focus today is most on the Figma side. Okay, right. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to do stuff here. Okay. Oh, that's a nice ketupat. It makes me hungry now. Okay, so you can have a stamp. You can put your own pictures there. Oh yeah. Okay, click on this so you can choose and then hold it. Okay. And there's a lot of plugins as well. Okay, plugins or templates you can use. So you can just drag and drop whatsoever. Okay. All right. So any question? Good. Okay. Okay, if nothing else, then we can continue back on the Figma. Okay, so things that I'm seeing is might not be the same as you because in my Figma there's already have a lot of things. Okay, a lot of things. So, but yeah, we're gonna just gonna walk through one by one. If any of you like already know this, you can just keep it. You can do your own things. Yeah, but it's still encourage you to listen. All right. Um, okay. So because this version is mostly on the for the beginners, right? So I assume that most of us here really doesn't know anything about Figma. So I will walk through one by one. Okay. Okay. So first, once you register or have Figma open, okay, you will see this like recent things in your what we call in your Figma. Okay, so you see all your recent files, everything here. Okay, and yeah, so all these things is on the right side here is all your about your organization of files. Okay, so if you are free users, you will have like draft. Of course, everyone have draft. So draft is somewhere that the place that you can have unlimited files in it. Okay, so you can create a new file by clicking on this design. If you want a Figma file, design file, then click on design file. If you want the FigJam, then it will create a new FigJam file. Yep, that's it. Okay. So and then you can also import like a PDF or a sketch file, image, anything, and even from the Google Jamboard. Okay, so you can import. and it will automatically convert into Figma files. So for example, if previously you are using it as cache, using it as cache apps, then when you import it, so it will automatically what we call convert all your layers, all your designs into editable things in the Figma. Okay. So in here, yeah, we will walk through later. Okay. So and then you can like pin your favorite files. Okay. So just yeah, if you hover, you can see the star here, right? Okay, you can just click on it and it will show up here. Okay. So if you want to remove it, just click again. So on. Okay. And that's favorite files. And you also can have like the third section here is the themes. So this is where all your themes, you can create like multiple themes. Okay, multiple workspace. I call it like a workspace, your own workspace. So if you can see, I have like multiple workspace or multiple themes. First one is record code, and then course studio resources. Previously Dyson. Okay, so by default you don't will see any of this if you are new user. I think so. You can create new theme here. So just create new theme, then can Figma workshop GDSC, for example, and create. Okay, then you can invite like any people in your team by their email. So you can add how many of them, and you can just keep for now. And then we can choose. Okay, we can choose what we call our plan. Okay, so the pricing plan is based on your team. Okay, okay, it's based on your team. So each of the plan, each of the teams, if you are free, you can only have 3 files, 3 pages, and just only one project. Okay, so let's see if I choose this one. So this is a free theme. Okay, and I can only have one project. So this is the project. If I want to create more, I need to upgrade. Okay, and in each of the project, I can only have maximum of 3 files. Okay, so for example, if I create another one, this is file 2. Okay, I just close it for now. And this one is FigJam 1. Okay, so it's already 3 files. But it's like you can have a 3 files for FigJam, 3 files for Figma. Okay, so okay, this is the third one. File 3. If you want to create more, oh yeah, so you will see this error. So you cannot add anymore rather than 3 files. See, because you already reached your limits. Okay, and that's the thing. Okay, so you can always upgrade if you want to, in order to get more what we call more files, unlimited, and so on. Okay, but if you just work on your personal things and so on, so you can just continue using a draft. So so what's the difference between draft and theme? Files in themes. Okay, so this one is in draft, right? Okay, so in draft you will not have any limitation, so you can create like up to any page you want. But in themes, there's a limitation there. Okay, so that's the different. Okay, reason why in themes is is where you only can use for collaboration with the others. Okay, if you want to collaborate your file, your design with other people, you need to put it under a team first. Okay, if it's only for you to use it, then you can use it in the draft only. So you don't need to like move it into the teams and so on. Okay. All right. So yeah, for example, if I share this, so yeah, you can try to jump in, and I can like maybe okay. And there's also like a few limitations in here for the free files. Okay. So this right now I said like anyone with the links, but yeah, if I like want to set a specific user, then yeah, I have to move it into the teams. Okay, the team project. Okay, any question so far? Oh, good. Right. Okay. Right. So that's basically what I mean the dashboard. I call it a dashboard, Figma dashboard that you will see. So you have the other things like you can choose a theme settings, all the settings. So this one you can explore by yourself. I don't think I need to go through all this, right? Okay. And one last thing before we jump into the design file itself, I want to also show the community. So if you see at the very bottom of the left side here, if you can see, okay, I think that's better, right? Okay, so you can see here as pro community. So you will have all the community files available in Figma community where you can get it free or paid. Okay, so that's a free and paid community files here. So you can search whatever you want. So for example, like I want like food delivery apps just for the inspiration, right? Just to get for inspiration and a template for me to get started. So yeah, so that will be here, and you can filter by anything that you want. Okay, and for example here I open it. Okay, so you can have a preview, so you can look first what are the contents in that community files. Is that something you really want? Okay, oh okay, the design is nice, and I think yeah, I want it, so I can click open in Figma, and it will automatically copy to your yeah. So in this case I have two accounts, so I need to choose. Right. So yeah, it will automatically save to your draft, so you can do whatever you want. Okay, you can customize, you can change it to your own, what you call, to your own colors. Okay, wait, I don't like yellow, orange, so I turn to blue. Okay, so you can explore or get access to anything in the Figma community. Okay, it's free to use. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can still sort by any of these things here, right? So just search whatever you want, and it will give you the results. Okay. So yeah, that's like most of the things in this area. Okay. So let's jump into the like the file. Okay. Okay, so empty file you will see like this uh like file. So this area, okay, is, we call it as a canvas. Okay, this is where you craft your design. Okay, you do your things here. So inside of this area. Okay, and this we have the top bar is similar to FitJam, right? We have a few tools here. So on the right side, you can have all the share options, and this one is a dev mode. Okay, so you see, to use dev mode, you need to move it to a paid thing because it's not available for free plan. So you can have your own libraries. Okay, this is libraries. I will talk about it later. Then you can have a prototype view. Okay, and then this one is zoom controls or whatsoever. Okay. All right. So at first, so you will have this like side, left and right panel as well. So all the right, left side is all the page and layer. So anything you create the page. Okay. So this is one page. This is page 2. Okay. So you can separate your design by page. Okay. You can have multiple page. So this is the page, and anything you added into the page, it will visible in this like a bottom section of it. Okay, so this is we call as a layer section. So here you can see that if I hover it, it will highlight this one. You see, if I click on it, yeah, it will select the layer. So I can add anything in this frame. Okay, in this thing. So like so you can use these tools up here to create anything. So if I want to add text, okay, let's put my name there. So you can see there's a new layer added in this panel. Okay, if I want to add a shape, okay, there will be a new layer. Okay, if I want to make a circle, so you will see that even the icon itself is different. So it indicates that the difference of layer, what are the type of layer that you added in your page. Okay, so you can see, and yeah, you can add. So you guys can freely do or follow me what I'm doing. You can add anything, try anything here as well. Okay, so that's basically the left side, or we call it as a layer. Okay, and on the left side as well, we have the assets. So this is more more into the like libraries, like a components libraries. Like is something that we can reuse in different files. Okay, we can reuse multiple times. Okay, we create it and we add to our libraries, then we can use it every time. Okay, so for example, like my own logo. Okay, I create my own logo, so I can just drag into this file and I can start using it. Okay, so I don't need to recreate from the scratch. Okay, so this part, all this thing, I will cover on the components topic later. Okay, so this is the assets. You can see all the how we call all the assets or the components that you have in your Figma. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. So that's on the right, on the left side. Okay. And this is on the right side. So if you notice on the right side, it gonna be like always different based on the layer that you select. Okay, all the objects that you select. Okay, if you didn't select anything, it will show this design and prototype. Okay, and you can change the background color of the entire canvas. So if I change to red, It's gonna be red. Okay. And you can set also the opacity or even make it transparent. Okay. And then this one is more on the variables. We're gonna talk about it a bit later as well. And styles is something like we can be reused as well. Okay. And export options. And then we have prototype. So prototype, this is things that how we can link our design to create it, to make it an interactive prototype. Okay, so when you click this button, it will go to the next screens and so on. So all that stuff will be in this prototype panel. Okay, right. So back to the design. So if you see, if I select this text layer, I will have all these kind of options. Okay, this one is more on the position. Okay, position. If I move around, you can see that. Oh, okay. You can see that what we call the value is changing automatically. Okay, you can increase the size. So all the things in here is all about customizing the layers you added in the Figma. Okay, if you want to change the colors, you want to change or add a shadow, add a stroke, or change a different font and so on, you will do all the things on the right side. Okay, so we're gonna jump into this more details once we touch the Figma basic, right? Okay, so first we'll go if am I moving too fast? All good. Okay. All right. Let me. Okay, so yeah, without wasting more time, so we're gonna jump directly into the Figma basics. Okay, so go back to my. Okay. All right. Okay, before that, this is just a common settings just to get best of Figma. This is actually my personal what we call personal setting. Okay, so that's called that Nash amount. Okay, so what is Nash amount? Is actually small Nash is where you like move the layer by like 1 pixel. So by a keyboard arrow, right? Okay. So if I move to the right, so it will move to us 1 pixel. Okay. So you can see here, right now is 1 to 1 the position. If I move, so it will be moving by 1 pixel. Okay. So for big Nash, if I click on shift, and then do the arrow. So right now it will move like by 8 pixel. Okay, you can see 80, and if I move, so it will go to 88. Okay. So this is like a tips to really make our workflow faster. Because in when you design, you need to like move things around, make all the spacing, all the alignments looks nice. Okay, so with this of adjustment, it is really helpful. So how to do this is you go to this Figma logo here and go to preference. You will see the Nash amount there. Okay, so just click. By default, at first you will see 10. So if you hold like shift and the arrow keyboard to move the layers, it will move by 10 pixels. Okay. But I more prefer to use 8 because of the 8-point grid system and all that stuff. Okay. So yeah. And also you can ruler guide. So ruler is very helpful. Okay. So way I use it is you can hover on it, you can drag and you can do a guide like this, okay, to make it more alignment, okay, and it can live inside a frame and also outside, okay. So yeah, and we have more, so you can explore details and just um you know choose whatever you prefer in here, okay. But these are the two things that I feel personally really helps my workflow become faster, okay. Cool. Okay, so yeah, we gonna jump straight into the Figma basics, okay. Okay, so first of it is when we design in Figma, we have something called like a containers. Okay, when you want to do something or when you want to make something, you need a container to hold something, right? Uh, like you want uh, like a nasi lemak, right? So you cannot just put it in your hand, everything, right? So you need a plate, you need like a bowl or whatsoever. Nak makan what you call mikari, it's not gonna work if you don't have a bowl, right? So you need a container. Okay. So whatever you want to design, you want to make, you need to have a container to put it inside it. So you cannot really just drop anything in the canvas, right? Right in here. So it's not gonna work like that. Okay. So you need to have a container. Okay. So in Figma, we have like three types of container, which is frame, a group, and section. I will not consider group as a container though, but yeah, it's somewhat related. Okay, so let's look into it one by one. So frame is what are the things you see here. This is frame. Okay, so how to create a frame? You can go to this top. Okay, if you click on this, it will give you option on the right side here. Okay, let me zoom more. Okay. Right? So you can choose what are the size of your frame. Okay. So if you're familiar with like Adobe or Sketch before, it's similar to artboard. We call it artboard. Okay. Right. So it's your artboard to do stuff in there. Okay. So you can choose whatever size you want, predefined here already. If you design something for mobile for phones, so you can choose like I mostly prefer like 13 mini because I have iPhone 12 mini. Um, yeah, so all the things you can put it in here. So this is frame. So you can create more frames even by clicking F, by press F. You can also like the cursor will be changed and you can create your own frame as well. Okay, like that. Okay. So you all can do this in your own Figma files. Okay, in your own Figma files. Just try to follow me. So if you already create this, so you can actually change again the size by clicking on this. If you see the frame, you can click to be desktop. Okay, or maybe I want to make a slide, right? Okay, and you can even change the orientation. Okay, all the things in here. Okay. So in here is more on the yeah, while we going over the basics, we also gonna touch all of these things. So all of these things is will be recite on this right panel. Okay. So yeah, so you can change the position. Okay. If you hover on this, you will see your cursor change. If you hover on the X, Y on this, so you can drag. Okay, you can drag left and right to make it move. Even the size also can do. Okay, so you can just drag. And cool things about Figma is that you can also add how do we call mathematical operation? Like you can add like, oh, I want to add more like 1,000 pixel, like that. Or I want to make it like actually I want just half of it. Okay. Same goes with the height as well. You can actually even do a multiply. I want like the double the height of it, something like that. Okay. So yeah, it's really helpful, and you can rotate it. Okay, by going to this edge of the frame, you will see your cursor will change, and you can start rotate it, and you can just what we call put the value here, right? And this one, let's say if I want like a square, what we call square frame, and I want to make it bigger, but I don't want to lose its aspect ratio. I want to keep it as a square. Okay, so if I'm moving like this, or change the size manually, it's not really fast, right? It's not a best practice. So what you can do, the trick is you can hold shift and you can start dragging. So it will maintain the aspect ratio. Okay. So you need to hold shift and then it can maintain the aspect ratio. Or you can click on this like constraint proportion icon here. You can click and then you can just, it will if you put in the value, so it will change based on the proposition as well. Okay. And you can do a lot of more things, like you can add corner radius. Okay. Like 40 corner radius. So you will see all the corner have now rounded edges. But also you can like set it independently. I don't want the top one. Okay. So it's gonna be like that shape. Okay. So this is just about the frame. So you can do a lot of things in this frame. You can change the color. Okay. You can add a stroke as well. The stroke didn't notice. Go to right. Okay. You can add effect, also drop shadow if you want. And even you can export it as a PNG or whatsoever. Okay. So if this is for the export, okay, you want to export as PNG, JPEG, SVG, and PDF, and you can set the size of it. You want to export it like 2 times or 3 times of the size, and so on. Okay, so yeah, I think this one is just a straightforward. Okay, so all the things, all the customization is gonna be the same also like for the other tools. Okay, you will have all these options like changing the color, changing the stroke, adding stroke, and so on. All right. Okay, so the main thing that is about is the frame itself. Like I said, it's a container. So everything you want to create, you need to put it inside a frame. So for example, I want to create a simple login screen for my apps. Okay, so make it login. Right. So I add a text here, or the shortcut is you can like create text. Okay, login. I change the, so if it's a text, you will have the additional text properties here. So you can change its size. Okay. You can change the what we call the font. Okay. So you can like go through and the font will be automatically review. And if you think you like it, you can So if you move this around, all the contents inside it will move as well. Okay, so that's why we call it a container. Okay, so yeah, so that all the things that you put, it will not move away, right? So you need to keep it as in a container. Okay, so that is container, right? And then yeah, we talk about, like, for example, this one, just a normal square, maybe like some of my app logo, something like that. Okay, so this is frame, and what is the group? So I can group the elements or the layer by grouping it. So I can select this one, or I can select like this. Okay, just hover, drag like this, or I can select and hold by holding a shift. Okay, hold your shift, and you can multiple select any layers inside your Figma, and then you can just right click and group selection, or the shortcut is command, or if you on the Windows, I think is alternate, if not mistaken, or control, command G. Okay, so it will group. So you can see that the layer itself also change. So if you see this like a dot 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 here, okay, okay, so that is the group, okay, and the layer is like this. So it's gonna be different things, okay, right? And that is frame and group. Okay, so frame is more like you can contain anything inside it. Group is more like you group like a similar, or the elements inside of your design. Okay, and what about section? So section is something like a parent container. Okay, it's like you can host most of the things inside it. So how to make a sorry, so how to make a section is you can click in this arrow and click on the section. Okay, so it will gonna have like what you do with a frame as well. So you can like this. Okay, so you can have the section here. So in this section you can also move around, and everything inside the section will be what we call will be moved as well. Okay, so it's more like it helps you categorize or organize your designs in more cleaner way. Okay, that's basically how we use sections. Okay, so you can group it by, okay, this is login and sign up, for example. Okay, so anything you create, right? For example, I add my own name here. So if you can just drag anything inside a section, or you can also drag anything inside a frame just by dragging it. Okay, change the color. Okay. So if I have any question, all good. Okay. I saw someone raise hand. No. Okay. Is there any way to if they want to stand? Oh, okay. If you want to use this, right? So this is like the most narrow. But if you want to hide it, you just can like hide the entire panels by like command backslash. That's the shortcut. Or you can also go manually by this. Oh, wait. uh, hide show or hide UI. Okay, so command slash will open up this like quick search where you can search anything inside a Figma. All right, so if you want to hide a UI, so you can just, yeah, so you will not have anything. That's the only thing. So you cannot really just hide the left panel. How to consolidate a frame and others into section again? Okay, so all right, so there's like multiple ways actually. Okay, at first, if you have your own section, you can go into this, click on section, or the shortcut is Shift S, then you can just create your section. Okay, and you can, if you have your frames, then you can just drag. Okay, so once the section is highlighted, it means that you can drop it and it will stay inside the section, just like that. Okay, or it's something like you already have your frames or your design whatsoever, and you can just like Command S and then just do like this, and everything will be inside the section. Okay, all good, cool. Okay, so yeah, so that's pretty much it. And if you want to talk about more like difference between frame and groups, so I think I really need to highlight this because it's really important. Even, I'm sorry to say, but even in a real world, designers still tend to use group in most of their designs, but actually it's not a good practice. Actually, you always have to use like frames in, even if you want to group certain of the elements in your designs. Okay, so this is just a quick overview on what's the difference between frame and group and when you can actually need to use it. Okay, so in frame you will have the overflow. So like this one, right? You will see the clip content, right? Clip content. So anything inside your frame, okay, when you design, sorry. So when you design, you will see that, like for example, this one, the rectangle, the orange one is actually outside of the frame. Okay, but because of we tick on this clip content, we will not see this. Okay, and if we untick it, it will show. Okay, right? So that's what frame can do, which is group it cannot do. So for example, if we have the same thing and we group it, it's just like it's a group. Okay, it's just you stick together everything. That's the group. You cannot have really much like customization in term of like sizing, in term of like positioning all the elements and so on. Okay, right? So if you see here, the frame size is only up to 844, even though the what we call the blue box here is outside the frame. But in here, this is the frame, this is rectangle, and when we group entirely, so it will consider the blue box as well as the height. Okay, you cannot really like overflow. So when you design, there's also a need where you like to see like, oh, how it actually looks on the mobile. Okay, is this looks okay? Okay, is this not what we call not visible enough by the user and so on. So, and you can also like do a lot of more customization in terms of like hiding other elements and so on. Once we jump into the prototyping later on, you will see more the use of this like overflow stuff. Okay, and then resize also different. So if I resize the frame, all the elements inside it will be maintained the position based on the coordinates here. Okay, so no matter you what we call, you resize the frame, so your elements will be stick there. But if you group it, all the things, okay, so you can see the difference. Okay, so all the things in the element in the group will be scale as well, will be changed. The size will be changed as well. Okay, and then we have constraint. Okay, right. Okay, so in Figma, you can set a constraint. Like for example, this one is center. We will talk more on this later as well. Okay, so even if I resize, I can make that orange rectangle always be centered of the page, centered of the frame. Okay, so that one can be achieved in frame, but not in groups. You don't really have that options. Okay, and then grids in frames, you can like have a grid like this or like this. Okay, to really have what we call rearranging and organize our elements in the designs, including the spacing and so on. Okay, so and if you combine with the constraints, you can really like have something like this. Okay, but yeah, the group, we don't have that. Okay, so conclusion is that you always use frame to at least represent the screen device. Okay, and this is some of the overview of what a frame or group can do. Okay, okay, so yeah, that's a bit of it. Like anything else, any questions so far before we like really go through all the basic tools that we have in Figma? So yeah, that's the first, like the really first things that you need to understand when you're using Figma, the difference between frame and group, all that stuff. Okay, because most of the things you will always use frame. Okay, even you want to create a new page, a new screen for your designs, even you want to create button also, like is ideally you need to use frame rather than group. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's go like one by one. Okay, tools. Okay, so let's create a frame. Let me just copy this. Okay, so yeah, here's the tip. If you want to duplicate the same design, you can add a whole alternate or options, and you will see like the double cursor there. Your mouse will have two cursor now, and while holding the button, you can drag and it will be duplicate. So it will duplicate anything in the inside as well. Okay, or you can just simply like select and do a command D or alternate D. Okay, so it will duplicate. So yeah, in here just quickly go through the shape tools. So in shape tools, we have a lot of shapes. So you can find it everything here. Okay, you can do rectangle. Okay, you can change the color. Okay, however you want. You can do the gradient. You can set the gradient. Let me change the color a bit. Right, something like that. So even the gradient, you can set different type of gradient, like radial angular. So you can really customize the things here until it meets your expectation or it meets your needs. Okay. And you can swipe the color, the gradient here as well. Diamond. Linear is most common. Okay. Right. So I don't like that. So I want more green. I want to be here. Okay. Right. Okay. So shape as well, you can not just color, but you can also fill it with the image. Okay. So for example, I choose image. Wait, I just put any of the image. Like for example, this one. Logo. Okay. So you can just put any image like that one. Okay. So you can resize it like a frame as well. You can resize it. You can change the color whatsoever. You can add stroke. Okay. And even you can add a GIF file or video as well. Right. So that's a cool thing. So anything like other shapes like ellipse and what else? Polygon. Okay. And then what else? Star. Okay. So you can see the shortcut key right there as well. So if you want to quickly create a rectangle, you can just press R and do a rectangle. Okay. So if you notice, some of the shape as well have their additional settings for that. For example, like polygon here, you can have like this count of age. Where you can like increase it to make they have like that. Stars as well, you can have like how many points that they have, and you can change the radius of it as well. Okay. Okay, it's like a durian now. Okay, so and then okay, so again you can change the color, you can do whatever you want customize. So I will not really go deep into that. I think that's really straightforward. You can really customize or explore. But one thing that is cool about Figma is even for the color or stroke itself is that you can add multiple colors inside of one layer, inside of one element. So if I want to add like this one, so you can see that I will add another like a black color with a 20% of opacity, and that will make my stars here like a bit darker. So I can show and hide as well. So I can add just multiple colors in a shape. Okay, and I can move this around too. Okay. So same if I like for the image, if I do the image, right? Okay, then I can add another color to make it like some kind of overlay there. Okay. I want to change make it like a blue or red green overlay. Okay. So you can change, you can add multiple. So same goes with the stroke as well. You can add more than one stroke colors. Okay. See. So yeah. So you can change the opacity and so on. You can add more stuff in here. Okay. So that's a shape tools. So then we have all good with shape tools. Okay, cool. Simple, right? Okay, then we have like lines and arrows. So it's actually part of here as well. So you can create your own line. Okay, you can drag like that. Okay, you can hold shift to make it like a 45-degree constraint. Okay, so you can also like shortcut with P. Oh, that one is sorry, that one is pen L for the line. Okay, so you can move around. Okay, you can rotate it. Okay, can move around again. You can increase the height of it. Okay, something like that, right? So you can change. So the line will be like a properties of stroke. So you can make it thicker, pixel that can rotate it. You can change also the color. Okay, and yeah, you can. This one is more on the position of stroke, but usually we just go with the center for line. Okay. Then this one, if you notice, we have like two lines here, right? So this is actually what are the points that we want to use, we want to have. So if I click arrow, so at the end of this line, we'll have this arrow, triangle arrow, reverse arrow, and so on. Okay. And yeah, I can make it also round. Because if you notice that by default, it is like a square, a really sharp line, but you can make it like a rounded line as well. Okay, by turning this on. So you can change on this other side as well. So you can have like arrow, and you can swap actually if you want. Okay, and you can actually change the dash, the stroke style, whether it's dash. You can explore the value, which one you want suitable more for you. Okay, you can increase also the gap in the dash. Okay, and the dash cap you can change to square if you want, or round. Okay, so endpoint is like this. Okay, so you can create that is for the line and arrows. So for arrows, just shift L, or you can go it over there, and yeah, this is the arrow. Arrows. Okay. Okay. So that's the basic of line and arrow. And then we have another options or tools, which is pen and pencil. Okay. So pen is you can like create like your own vector image, okay, or vector layer. So clicking on pen, you will have this pen cursor. So you can just tap on it, click on it. So you will have this another point. So you just choose in here, maybe, and then make it here, here, and here. So it will make this like a square. Okay. So you can also resize it, move around. Okay. But it doesn't have like fill color inside it. So you can add if you want also. Okay. Okay. So you can actually create more than that by when you create, then we go to P for the pen and tap on it. Okay. So before you tap on the second point, you can hold shift to actually like make it like I said 45 degree. Okay, and instead of you just click one time, you can hold it. Okay, don't leave your mouse yet, and then you move around so you can bend the line. Okay, so again, so if you just tap on it, it will automatically create the line for you. But if you like hold, okay, you will have options to really play around with the bending of the line. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so for example, like I want to this, and then I want to adjust. Okay, it looks like a Nike logo, right? Okay, so but it's not looks perfect, so I want to adjust it again. So how do I do it? So I can just select this this layer, these lines, so I can just hit enter. Okay, so you will see that it will move into like vector mode, so where you can like really do a customization on your vector. Okay, so you can either delete the points, any points, move around the points, or you can change the bending here. If you want to delete, just select this point and delete. Or if you want to delete the line, you can also select line and delete. And this one also you can add. If you hover, you will see your mouse will have the pen with plus icon there. I'm not sure if you can see. Cannot. Yeah, but if you what we call click on it, it will add another point between the lines. So with that, you can have more controls or more points to your lines. Okay. So yeah. So like for example, this one, I can adjust the things here, and I want to move a bit down. This one is too bend. Okay. Okay. Right. So something like that. So you can do more than like uh customization on this as well. Okay. All good. Basically, it's not a Nike logo, right? It's just another random logo. Okay, so basically that is line and arrows, and then we move to arc tools. Okay, so arc tools is something like I need this shape. I want to delete it. Okay, so what is arc tools? Is for the circle. Okay, so if you hover on the circle, you will see this tiny white circle there, and when you hover it, it's called arc. So you can click and hold. So you can create like a pie chart, something like this. Okay, and you will have like another options here. Okay, this one is sweep. So this sweep is the change of the what we call how many percentage of the circle. So right now it's 75%. Okay, so this one is of course 50%, which means it's a semicircle. Okay, right, and then you can have a start, which is you can move around where it's actually start. So it's gonna turn on like a clockwise here. Okay, and then this one is ratio. If you move around this, what will happen is it will create like a hollow in the circle, right? So this is how you can like create some sort of like pie charts or loading as well using these tools only. Okay, so you can have all the customization available in the right panel as well. You can change the value. Okay, like that. So that is the up to the basic of up tools. Okay, and then image is more on like I said, you can use shape, but you can also like place manually the image like this one. Maybe I choose another image. Okay. Okay, that is Kedah Police flag. So you can choose your image. You can replace your image. Okay. Yeah, I already walked through about this. Okay, and then we have text and font is something that I also explained. And yeah, why not we move directly to the mask? Okay, so what is mask actually? So okay, masking is something that when you want to mask certain of the elements. Okay, so for example here we have text and we have this image. Okay, and I will say that this one, oh wait, sorry, forgot to duplicate Kedah and police. Okay, so I want to make like this text masking with the image. Okay, so what I need to do is just select these two layer, and you will see this like a moon or a mask icon here used as mask. So you will see that the text will be as a masking layer, and then the image itself will live only in the text. So you can do something like this. See? Okay. So this masking is works for the text and also for the shape. Okay. So for example, if you have like this shape, right? And you want to like add masking to it, so you can do as well. You cannot like simply put in the image here. Okay, why? Because you will not have the customization of what we call adjusting the position of the image. Okay, so what you need to do is do the same thing. Okay, so let's see here. So make sure that whatever the shape that you want to make for your mask or for your element need to be below of the image of anything that you want to do. Okay, so if like this, okay, I select and click mask. So the image will be masked into the up shapes just now. Okay, so I can like freely move the what you call the things, and I even can customize again the shape if I want. So if I go to select this, and you will see that this is a mask group, and you see the difference here. And I can actually add another things inside the mask group as well. So for example, I want to add this shape. Okay. Okay, I need to cut and paste. Select the group and paste it. So the shape will also live in the masking group. Okay, so basically masking is more like it's a group but with a definitive or it's like you have a shape, your own shape inside it. Okay, so that is a masking. Okay, so you can still have options to customize the ellipse. Okay, So I hit enter, or when I hover it, I just can change again the settings here, something like that. Okay. All right. Okay. So you can do a lot of things in this masking actually. Okay. I will not go into much details, but yeah, that's the basic things. Cool. All right. So any questions so far? If not, then I think we can take 5 for now. So we'll take 5, and yeah, maybe we can just take like 7 minutes. So we'll get back like 11:30 for the next topic. Okay, is that cool? All right. Okay, so you can just grab a food, drinks, or whatsoever you want to do. So we'll see again in 11:30. Right. So yeah, take 5. Eh, guys. Okay. So more ready ke? Just you can just wait 1 more minute. Okay, ready Okay, so right, so yeah, while taking break, I play around with the mobbing sites if you know about it. So we share the links here. Okay. So basically mobbing is basically our or my go-to inspiration for the designs. So you will see that all this whatever in here is basically um everything you will see in the real apps. Okay. So you can see each of the apps, you can see all the screens, all the flows of the screens. Okay. So it's really like a really big resource. Okay. But of course, if you want to access everything, you need like a subscribe. Okay. You need a subscription to it. You need to pay, right? So yeah. Yeah, so since I think we just have like 1 more hours, and I don't think I can like go into like very details in one of in each of the topics. So um here's what I'm gonna do. So we just like look into an inspirations here, or think of our own like designs. Okay, we start with creating a really simple design. Okay, and then we try to recreate it in the Figma. Okay, and then from there, when we're creating, so I will explain like what are the features, or what are the things that related to all other topics. Okay, because tentatively we still have a lot of things to cover, like layouts. Okay, auto layout, components and styles. Okay, and then we didn't have talk about like prototyping yet. Okay, so we're gonna like speed up a bit if that's okay for you all. Okay. All right. Okay. So I just create. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. So we just want to create a really simple screen. Okay, so like most common things, or most common screens like we can create is like what are the most used apps that you guys use. Yeah, just put in the chats right there. Then we can search for it, like Instagram, TikTok, or whatever. For me, is Twitter. Okay. How about you guys? Just drop in the chats. What are the tunes? TikTok. Okay. What else? Anyone still using Facebook? No. WhatsApp. Grab food. Okay. I use Food Panda. All right. Zeus. Okay. All right. So Duolingo. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. So you can go to the Mobin. All right. Go to Mobin, and or if you don't really have a full access of Mobin, you can really just go into Google, or through go see your phone, right? Um, and look into that those apps. Okay. And just look into it, and you can pick whatever screens that you want to build. But for this workshop, I think let's just focus on a simpler one. So for this workshop, what we want to do is like really have a basic screens. Okay. So we're gonna have like what we call, just a login screens. So I will like copy this screen and paste it in my Figma. Okay, and I want to also create this screen. Okay, and yeah, and then we can quickly skip into this part maybe. Okay, and so this part. Okay, right. So I can share this. Oh no, I can't really share this. Sorry, but yeah, you can have it in your own Figma. Okay, and just drop this kind of screenshots. So this is just a guideline. We don't really try to create like same with this. Okay, so right. So the first step is when we want to create designs. Okay, so for example here is mobile apps. Okay, so let's always start with the frames. So we always need to have a frames. So for me, I say I prefer the iPhone 13 mini. Okay, it's like the screenshot is quite big. Then you can just resize, and if you just resize normally, it will be like this. But if you're holding a shift, it will maintain the what we call the ratio. Okay, so you're gonna have this like a simple screen where we have logo and we have like a headline, and then we have a few buttons in that. So here's how we're gonna do. So we can just simply create a shape to indicate our logo. Okay, and we can simply put in there. Okay, and then this text you can have like always okay. Hey, welcome to Figma workshop. It's too big, so we gonna adjust the size of it. Okay, so we can resize also the text. Okay, you can change the property of the types by if you want to make it auto it, so it will follow whatever text. So if it's a long text, it's gonna be like really super long. But if you want to auto hide, so you can have a fixed width there. Okay, and it's also fixed size. Okay, so fixed size is not only just it's also the height itself is will be fixed. So if you adding more stuff, okay, so the or the exact height of the text will always be 70 pixels. Okay, but if you choose this one, so it will auto fit the text, and you can change the we call the orientation. Okay, so let's just keep it there. Okay, so you can choose whatever font you want. So I'm choosing this. Okay, and then this button. All right, so there's a few ways to achieve this. Like if beginner mostly you will just use continue Google. So let's make it and 20 or in okay, like this, and then you can like do a rectangle there, change the color to white, add a stroke. Okay, so again this okay, so when you adding a layer, it will automatically add on top of it. Okay, but you can reorder the thing. So right click and you can bring to front or send to back. Okay. So send to, or it's a shortcut like the bracket and close bracket, open bracket, close bracket. Yeah, if you can also like a command bracket and command. Okay. So you can achieve something like this using a rectangle and text. Okay. So if this one, I don't really like a rounded button, so I just do a like rounded square button. Is it looks okay? Yeah, it means that you can do like this, but it's not the best practice. Okay, there's things that, just imagine that if you want to move this around, okay, you can group it, but if you want to resize it, okay, it's not really how it should be. Okay, we can do this better, in a better way, not by using rectangle shapes or with a group. Okay, so this is not the best way to do. Okay, so instead we can use something we call as auto layout. Okay, auto layout. Okay, so in this demo, how to create a button, I will basically go through a basic of auto layout, and this auto layout is we will gonna helps you a lot when designing things. Okay, all right. So let's just continue with Google. Okay, so you can see that this is a text. Okay, and you can add the auto layout by right click or here, add auto layout, or you can just simply shift A. So you can see that you will have another things with a different layer. So this is, we call it auto layout. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna do more about the auto layout in a bit. Okay. So in here, you can do whatever things that you can have with frame. Okay, because it's auto layout is basically a frame, but it's just you can have a more like really advanced spacing customization on it. Okay. All right. So as you can see that if I select this, you will see the auto layout here. Okay. And if I remove this, it will just turn back into the normal frame. Okay. Which, yeah, it's still fine. You can still add stroke and so on. Okay. Right. But let's say that you want to um, resize this looks too tight. Okay. So I want to adjust the size. Okay. So if it's a normal frame, you need to do a lot of things manually. Okay. In order to make it always center, you need to like set the constraint to center and center, so that when you what we call resize, it will always be a center. It's a good, but it's not still not the best. Okay, so here's how what auto layout can do. Okay, so if you can see that I enable the auto layout again. Okay, so for a normal frame, you will have this auto layout. Click, and you will have these options. Okay, so this is what we call auto layout settings. So you can change the orientation, you can change the spacing, you can change the paddings and so on. Okay, so let's add like a logo. So for the logos, you can create your own logos or icons, or you can use plugins. So there will resources tools here. Okay, and you can choose under plugins, and you can just search for icon. Okay, it will list down all the plugins that you can have or you can use for the icons. Okay, so I mostly use material design icon by I think by Google. Yeah, so I click on it. So I can search any of the icons. So for example, Google icon. So I click and it will add to my what we call to my design. Okay. So I can add this. Okay. So if it's an auto layout, whenever I grab things inside it, it will automatically add that. And if I change the label, right? So you can see that the width of the button will be automatically resized. Okay. So it will be auto adjust size. Continue with Google. Okay. Or login with Google, something like that. Okay. So that is the basic. So you can change the order. So if you select the text, you change or you swap the elements. Okay. So we change the order. And you can also like set the orientation to vertical layout. So if you change the orientation, it will become like this. Okay. And you can change the gap between the two or between the elements. Okay. So if you have more like elements or icons inside it, so it will affect like everything. Okay. So let's just, you can also change the padding. So you can see that the icon here is horizontal padding. So padding means that the space on the left and right. So if you click on this, it will highlight the things, or the spacings that we can adjust. So you can increase to 24, for example, and then this one you can make it like 12, make it bigger, or just stay like that. Okay. So now you have your own like a button, a really dynamic button where you can just simply continue with Google. So it will resize. Okay. So you can also like adjust the padding independently. So if you hover, you will see that it highlight on the respective what we call paddings or area. Okay. And you can actually customize it. All right. Okay, so we have our Google buttons now. Then, yeah, maybe we can just have like another button with continue with email, for example. Okay. All right. So this one I want to make it we call black button, and then white text. Okay. So I can also like add another text or like that. And you this line, so you can try to recreate whatever all the things that we use is just from the Figma basic, all the basic tools. Okay, so like pens or lines. Okay, so we can have a line here. Okay, and then we can duplicate it. All right. Okay, so here's another use case for the auto layout. So if like this, you need to like really adjusting the position of it. But the benefit of the auto layout is that you can make this everything in the design align properly. So you select this and you can shift A, so it will contain or group this inside a auto layout. Then you can change the orientation like this. Okay. So this one is gonna be auto. We need to adjust a bit on that. Okay. So, but the reason that I'm showing is this you can easily like adjust the spacing automatically. You don't need to really like move around the things manually. Okay. Okay, and same goes with the positioning of this entire section or entire part. You can like arrange accordingly. Like this one, you will see that this is like 19 pixel and is kind of consistent. But if you want to move around, so you need to select everything and then you need to drag it down a bit, all the things. So each time you want to move these things, you need to select all. You can use group, like group it together, but it's not the best practice because you will lose all the entire things about benefit of auto layout. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we just group this in, select all this, and then shift A to make it auto layout. All right. So with this, all the spacing between the element will be consistent. Like we change it to 8 pixels, something like that. Okay. So whenever move around, okay, you can move entire thing. So if I feel like it's still a bit tight, then I want to adjust the spacing. Okay. And the color is can be a bit lighter, something like that. Okay. So that is auto layout the frames, the benefit of frames rather than be using just a normal group. Okay. All right. So can add like all the text below, like have an account already, they log in. Okay. You can just do like that. So this one maybe 12. Okay. So you can adjust the height of this button by adjusting the padding, or you can also like change the size. So in size, which is I haven't mentioned earlier, is that you can set like what we call okay, this one like a min or max with a min or max height. Okay, so this one will override whatever settings you put in the auto layout. So for example, I want to add minimum height is I don't know, 48. Okay. Right. And this one is if I make it 12. Okay. So because of there's no icon, so that's why you will see that this button is actually a bit shorter. Okay. So how to fix that is we just also set it to 48. Okay. So that even though the spacing is the padding is less, the minimum height of that button will always 48 pixels. Okay, so that's what we need. Right? Okay. Okay, all good so far. Is I'm too fast. Is you guys already lost in the space? All good. Okay. All right. So okay, this already good. But it's still not quite what I want because the height of the width of the button is not the same and it's really not good. Okay, if you can see that Twitter one is all the button is same size. Okay, same width. So how we can do this? So do we need to like manually do this? Yeah, we can, but it's not gonna be the best things to do. So in auto layout, we have options of like whether you want to set fix. So if you set fix, okay, whatever contents you put, it will be overflow. Okay, it will be outside of the width. Okay, that's the fix. But if you set the hard contents, means that it will hide all the things that inside the auto layout. So it will follow the content inside of it. Okay, right. And if you change to fill container, okay, right. So this one is okay. So you can see that this is the container of the auto layout frame. And you can see that the difference between fill container and hard content. Okay, so the hard will be, it always follow whatever content inside of it, but the fill container will be follow the width of the container of the auto layout itself. Okay, right. So in this case, let's do just like this. We set the to hard content again, and we just change to continue with email. Okay, so you can see that this is after and this is before. So to simply like want to stretch this button, you can just fill container, right? Okay, so that's a bit of like auto layouts and also like a stuff of like positioning, okay, layouts tools. Okay, right, cool. Okay, so that's pretty much for our first screen. So let's say if I click on this button, I want to go to the next screens of something like this. Okay. Right. So we can do that. Yeah, basically we can just duplicate the frame. Okay. So the logo can be that. This one can be go cancel. Oh, just put this on as a reference. Okay. And then we have create your account. Okay, we make it a bit smaller and left align. Okay, so something like that. So we have the fields here and we have the button next. Okay, so we can just reuse this. Okay, to next, for example. Okay, all right. Then we can create the field, name this one. So we can also like, so for the button, we can use auto layout. For the input field as well, we can also use auto layout, okay, or frame. It makes our life more easier, okay. So I will show you why. So let's say we click name, okay. So I change to regular and the font is like 16. Okay. So I wrap it with the auto layout. We press Shift A, okay, Shift A, and I just like what do you call, add a stroke. Okay, so the stroke also we can set it independently. We want to make it like a bottom only. Okay, and we can set to that one, padding, can have, want to add the padding at the bottom. Okay, so we just can resize it. Okay, so we can change the stroke color to a bit more lighter. Okay, so you see that you don't need to like add a text and also add a line. Okay, so you can just use a frame to create the same thing here. Okay, by using the auto layout. Okay, so you can duplicate all these things or email. And then okay, all right. So again, because of this is like related elements, so we can also group it, but don't use group it just as a group. It will not benefit you anything. Okay, so always group it with auto layout. Okay, so that you can adjust the spacing and even tweak more. Okay, so like this, I can change it to field container. Right. Okay, so if you notice, I'm actually doing a lot of here under the selection colors. So it's that if you select any of the layers, it will actually give you list of whatever color in that content. So you can easily change the same color to any color, new color you want. Okay, so that's a cool feature there, right? So in this case, I want to make the text a bit lighter, like that. Okay. Right. So yeah, we're done with our second screen. Okay. So yeah, it's actually quite fast, quite easy to do. All right. So now we can just how we can link this together. Okay. So we want to make like a prototype, right? We want to click this button and it go to this next page. So how we can do that is we go to this prototype panel. Okay, don't select anything. So you go to prototype. Okay, so if you notice, if you hover on each of the element, you will see the differences. Okay, you will see the point, the circle there, and the plus. Okay, so this to make it a prototype, interactive prototype, clickable prototype, you can go to prototype and select any of the layer you want to make it clickable. Okay, for example, I want to make this continue with email clickable. So I will just double click on it. So make sure that, okay, this is selected. And what I just need to do is I click on that. I drag to whatever screen that I want it to go. Okay, so you can see that, okay, it will have this pop-up on click, navigate to this frame, okay, 13-minute 2 and instant. Okay, so this one you can really what we call set the transition of it. Okay, so we can test it. If clicking on this, it will open up the full page, but if you want to make it in the like preview, you can always click in this arrow and click preview. So it will preview this with a device mockup of your own choice, right? So I can click on this and now it goes to the next screens. Okay. So that is how easy we do the prototyping in Figma. So just drag the arrow, drag the path, drag the lines to whatever screens that you want to go. Okay. So if you want to customize the what we call the interaction, you can click on the arrow that already in there. Okay, so you can choose like any of these transition. like move in. Okay, so if I click, so you can see the difference, right? Okay. All right. So I noticed that if I want to cancel but it didn't go anywhere, so I can add another interaction there. Just select this cancel and drag back to the first page. Or if it's always a back function, or it do what it do is a back to the previous page, so you can just drag it to this like a back blue icon in here. Okay, so you always be back. Okay, so let restart the prototype. Okay, so click and then go back. Click, go back. Okay, so if you just go back here, it will use the previous what we call transition that we set. So if I can set the direction, see, okay. So yeah, that's is the basic of the prototyping. Okay, so we just create two screens and we link it together, and we can test it already. Okay, okay, definitely it's not a good what we call a good transition, so we can just stick to that. All right, cool. Okay, so we covered the what we call the um what we call the prototyping already. It's just that for the basic. But if you want to go more, you can have also take a look on Smart Animate stuff. Smart Animate will open up like really a lot of possibility in term of the what we call in term of the transition and prototyping. Okay, so what it does is actually, okay, you can see the difference. Okay, so I set now to Smart Animate, and if I click on this, you can see that this part is what we call change to that. Okay, because it will automatically animate the same layer between the two frames, right? So in this case, this actually is related. This is frame. This is also a frame. Okay, so it's really related. Okay, so I can do this. What it does is by it will look on the name of the layer and also the structure. Okay, so what we can do here, for example, if you hover, you can see the related what you call related layer. Okay, so I want to make that if I click on this, I will make it bigger. Okay, and I'll click on this and it will go to this. Okay, so if it's not like a normal move in transition, it will just like that. But if it's a Smart Animate, you will see the difference. Okay, so it will smartly animate your layers. Okay, you can see that the circle there, how it resize and move. Okay, and you can adjust the timing. If you want to make it fast or slow, you can have like a spring animation as well. So yeah, it's quite powerful. So you can see the difference. See, it has the bounce there, right? Okay, so as long as your layer is the same, the naming is the same, the structure is the same between the two frames, so it will be automatically animate your elements or your layers nicely. Okay, right. Okay, so that's about it of the prototyping, and now we talk about components. Okay, we talk about components and styles. Okay. So components and styles. So what is this actually? Okay, components and styles. Right. So components and styles is something that we can reuse in our designs in our project. Okay. So for example, okay, let me show you guys the use case of this. Okay. For example, right now it's just black and white, right? But let's say that I want to change the brand color for this button. It's gonna be like red now. Okay. So what I can do is I need to change to the red color, or maybe the blue. I don't know. Yeah, I think blue looks fine. Okay, like that. Okay, so I need to ensure that everything that I have in my design, all the colors, all the things, all the text is consistent. Okay, so I cannot like, okay, this page is like this, and this page is this button is like that. Okay, it may looks the same, but the code, the color code is totally different, right? So it's not always you need to remember the color code, all that stuff. And also, even though you have this selection colors, right? It's not, it's the fastest way to manage the entire consistency of the designs. Okay, so that's where the styles and components coming in. Okay, so for example, like this styles, this tags. Okay, so we can have like multiples of styles. Okay, so we can have like text, styles, fills, stroke, and effect. Okay, so we can have create all that. So let me just show the color. Okay, all right. So let's set this color as a black, but I don't really want to use the really black like here. So maybe I just want to have like this one. Okay, it may not looks much difference, but you can see that the difference between the color, okay, is really have a difference there, right? So by creating this as a like a styles, you can click on this styles and variables, okay, and then you can add as a new style or variable. Okay, so style, so variable is like a really more advanced things, so I don't think we can really talk about that, but it's somewhat related actually. So you can name your style. So for example, like text primary color. Okay, what's used for? Use for main text. Okay, you can add just any description you want. You can have any like properties or colors there, and then you can create styles. Okay, so right now how I'm gonna use this. So let's say this is also want to update with the new color. So instead of I type in the code manually, the color code manually, right? Or I can do this also, but it's not something that I want to do entire time, right? So what I can do is just click on this again, and you will see the text or color styles that we already set up here. Okay, so sorry for this. I will remove the, okay. Okay, wait. All right, text primary color. Okay, so with this, my text primary color is already linked, so you can see the difference. Instead of it has the color text, the color hex code, and the transparency, we have the name of the styles itself. Okay, and why is important or why is good? Because if you want to update the colors in the features, you can just simply update the value in the local styles panel here. So all the things will be changed accordingly. Whatever elements or layers that use that styles will update accordingly, right? Okay. Same goes with this button. Okay. So if I want to make this as a new styles, for example, primary brand color. Okay. So I want also like this button to also use the what we call the primary brand color. Okay. So whenever I go to the styles here, the local styles here, so I can, when I'm updating the colors, it will change across the files. Okay. So that is styles. So yeah, I love pink, magenta, whatsoever. Okay. Right. So that's it for the styles. So you can create even for the stroke, you can reuse the color if you want. Okay. Or you can create your own color. Okay, you want this stroke like a bit like that. Then you can add another color like so for the color. Okay. So with that, okay, we want to standardize all the border colors. So including this one and this one. So we can like do set the colors. So we change accordingly. Right? So you will save tons of times and you can reuse your styles in Figma. Okay. And that is the styles. Okay. You can add the shadow as well. So once you add the shadow, okay, the shadow, oops, okay, the shadow of the button. So let's say I adjust a bit and make a spread a bit. No. Okay, I reduce the opacity a bit. Okay, and I name it as a button shadow. Okay, so for all the buttons that I want to use, I can add or set with the button shadows. Okay, so if anything that in the future I want to customize or adjust the shadows, yeah, I can like what we call adjust it and it will change or update across all the files. Okay. Then that is the styles. Okay. That is the styles. And what is about the components? So I just quickly go through with the components. Okay. So components is the same as styles where you can reuse it. Okay. But in terms of it is a component already. Okay. You make it a component so you can use the entire things anytime. Okay. So for example, a button is a component. Okay, so you can create this as a component so that you can just reuse anytime. Okay, so I show quickly. Let's just create or duplicate this. Okay, so you have the buttons. Okay, all your buttons have this using all the styles that you already set, right? And then you will see this create component. Then you create on it. It will change to this purple frame. Okay, this kind of diamond stuff. So this is a component. So you can name it anything. You can double click to rename. Okay, this is primary button. Okay. Right. So you can basically drag again in your design. So you will see that, okay, this is the instance of your component. Okay, you will see the icon is different there. Okay, so there's a different. It's like this one is a master component, and this one is, we call it as a instances. Okay, right? So for the instances, we can do a bit of overriding. Okay, a bit of overriding. So I talk about that later. But first we go with this. So if it's a component, okay. So let's say I want to change the padding here, or I want to change the maybe the text size in here. Okay. So we can see that if I change in the master component, the instance will be changed as well. Okay. If I'm not using a component, then I need to like select one by one. Or even though now we have like select matching layers where you can like select all the matching layers, but that is only within the select the frame. Okay, so it's really hard if you want to maintain or make changes across different screens, right? So let's update our buttons with this. Okay, so we can, right? So this one is set to fix. Now we can set to hard content, so it will reflect to both button. Okay, okay. So anything you make changes in the master component, it will change also in all the instance directly. So if you change the color, if you change the size, if you change the all the stuff, padding, shadows, and so on, okay, it will automatically change whatever it is. But if you change something in the instance, it will not affecting the master. For example, here I change the label, right? So here will not change the label, right? And if I change this also to fill container, the size, the master component will stick with the same size, right? Okay. So that's is, and even though you already override, okay, you have change the size and so on, you can still actually, if you go in this right panel, you will see this detach. If you want to detach, means that you will lose control of the any changes from this master component. Okay, that's if you detach. Okay, or you can right, what you call, okay, okay, reset or change is that it will revert back following the master components. Okay, see, so for example that, okay, this one I don't want pink, I prefer black button. Okay, so it will not change the master component, it's only change here. But if I revert back, reset or change, so it will reset. Okay, so it's really you can reuse anywhere. So it's really helpful for components like buttons, input field, where you will use a lot in any of the designs. Okay, so by the way, even this one, you will have the button. You will have this one also have a button. Okay, right. So that's the basic of the components and styles. Okay. All right. Yep. Cool. So I think that's all for me. Uh Hopefully I cover most of the basic things of the things that really important for you guys to know. Okay, of you guys to know what is Figma. So even though I didn't have time to cover everything that I've already planned, okay, but hopefully all these things really helps you guys a lot in designing with Figma. Okay. So yeah, I think that's all for now since we have uh like only 5 minutes left, right?
Okay,
Okay.
so um, I guess we will open the floor for any questions that participants may have. So if you guys need any clarification for today's session, you can speak up or you can use the chat box.
Okay. Any question? Just ask anything. Don't be shy. No question. It's not only, I mean, you can ask anything. It's not just related to the Figma stuff. You can ask, I think you can ask whatever things about UI design, about career, or all that stuff as well, right? So yeah, it's open to everyone. If you have any questions. Challenge that you have faced. I mean, at first I become a designer. I think the challenge is that even right now I have the challenge where sometimes I don't know if what I'm doing is right or not. Okay, I'm not sure if what I'm design will be the best for the user, right? So yeah, that's something that even now I'm still face that one. And I think the second one is that in terms of the overall um like uh skills that I have, I'm still learning. Okay, I'm still learning as well. Okay, I'm just 4 years in this field. There's still a lot of things that I don't know. If you talk about the entire like product design or UI UX career, right? It's not only just about the design. You will need to learn about the product, the business side of things, the data, the how you, I mean, doing research, understand your users, and so on. There's a lot of things. Okay, not just the design. So I think the challenge for me is that um, how can I, upskills all those area. What's the point of components again? So components is that you can reuse anywhere, and even if you have like for example, if you want to make change to that components, you just need to change at one place rather than the entire place. Yeah, so for example like this, if you change the color, so all these components, the button components will be changed the color. Okay, hopefully that's answer Tengku Zarul's question. Okay, how do this determine the color theme for your product? Okay, this color part is honestly I'm still learning. I'm what I usually do is that I look into other products, other designs, how they use colors in their apps, in their designs. Okay, so I tend to just copy, just steal the all the color theme, and then just tweak a little bit, based on my preference. Yeah. From Nabil, with no jobs. Yeah, it's possible. If it's possible, if you really have interest in UI/UX job and you really have a good skill, a good eye on the designs, then yeah, there's always opportunity for a fresh grad to become a UI/UX designer. Any good YouTube to learn about Figma? I would say that you can just go to uh Figma YouTube channel itself. I think there's like a lot of things you can learn from there. Yeah, it even have like all the conference video conference stuff. So you can always like look into it, and you will have like this playlist where it talk or it Figma design 101. So yeah, I think this channel alone is really good. Okay. Other than that, yeah, you can just search for it, right? Or maybe you can follow my channel, but I haven't been active for quite some times. I have my own channels, so I did also talk about all the design stuff and so on. Okay. Other than that, next questions. Many client is the most interesting task. I would say that uh I think my work currently is the best for now. I don't really have much freelance clients, to be honest, but my works in LottieFiles is really good. I mean, yeah, it's the most interesting. And in LottieFiles, I take a role as a design system designer. So I manage or lead all the design system of the LottieFiles product. So I had to maintain all the components, all the styles, all the design tokens, that terms if you want, if you know. Okay, so all those about design system. Okay, so there's a lot of questions. So should we we still have time to ask all these questions, Lukman?
I think we can give you until like 12:36, 7,
Okay.
12:37.
Okay then. All right. So I will just answer the rest of the question. Can Figma do drop down button prototype? Yeah, can, of course. But I don't have time to show now. But you can. I think just Google how to do a drop down. And yeah, there's a tutorial on that. Uh, YouTube channel drop down or the answer clients. Okay, and from Lukman, how does your team to translate your design into code? Okay, all right. Okay, so in my team, usually after we done the design, so we hand off to the developers, right? So this is like a dev mode, the new dev mode. So developer will see this, and they will mostly is they will build from scratch. Okay, they will build they will code the design by themselves, right? So with this Figma, you will have this all these like uh, tools that can help developers to easily get all the design specs from the Figma. Okay, so they don't need as a designer also I don't need to like create a separate documentations like uh what is the spacing for the buttons, what is the height of the buttons, what are the color used in here. So everything the developer jump into the Figma and they just hover and select any of the layer, then they will see like all the things that uh already have defined or designed in Figma, all the color codes, all the size, okay, size, font weight, font family, all the stuff. Okay. And regarding about the automation tools, we don't really use like plugins or tools to automatically convert our designs to code. Okay. Uh, we don't really use that because I think the way we set up is that we already have our own design system, which means that will help to speed up a lot. What you see in Figma, where we have styles and components that can be reused in the what we call in the design in the Figma, is the same thing, same concept for the code as well. So we can have like a library of our components, of our all the styles, of all our colors that developers can reuse it, okay, to speed up the uh, you know, creation of all of the page and so on. Okay, so yeah, I hope that's answer the question. Okay, any last question? Hmm.
Okay, so any last question from anyone?
Do follow, if no question, like do follow me on Twitter. I'm mostly active in there, honestly. Yeah, just want to connect with everyone, like, so wait, this is not things, okay, so I can share the link. Just, yeah, I love to connect with what we call, with people. So if you use Twitter or you use LinkedIn or anything, just reach out, just connect with me, because I love to get know like especially the new generation, the new designers, young designers. So yeah, is there anything that I can help, not just through this kind of workshop? So just feel free to reach out to me anytime, so I can at least give any advice or whatsoever for you. Is Figma really famous in company side design nowadays? Yes, yes. Yeah, it's like what I mentioned in the early. This is how the percentage of it. Okay. So sometimes Figma, it says if one of the requirement for you to get into the job. Most already use Figma, they will stick to Figma and they will ask you to use Figma. Okay. Yeah. So if you're not familiar with Figma or cannot do design really well in Figma, then yeah, you might miss that opportunity. Okay. I hope that's it. Okay.
All right. So thank you, Brother Muazzim, for basically sharing with us the knowledge. And I guess we have reached the end of the Q&A session and our workshop. So today, in today's session, we've covered a lot of ground, from getting started with Figma and FigJam, and also exploring a lot of advanced concepts, including how to do components, how to do a prototype in Figma. And we've also had the chance to experience a lot of exciting activities demonstrating the collaborative nature of Figma and FigJam. So we hope you gained a lot of valuable insights and feel empowered to use Figma in your assignments and future projects. Uh, Before dispersing, however, let's commemorate this moment with a group photo. I kindly request, if possible, to turn on your cameras, and your teams and our team will take a screenshot.
Okay.
So, right.
Fix your hair.
Okay. Everybody can open your camera.
Ready.
1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Freestyle. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you
And
very
also,
much.
yeah, I'm sorry if I didn't cover everything, but yeah, hopefully you guys learned something from today's session. Okay.
All right. No worries, brother. So if you guys have any questions, if you guys have any clarifications for you to be answered, you can of course contact Muazzim via social media, by his Twitter that he shared, and or you can also contact us for any questions. And also, we appreciate it if you give us some feedback by scanning the QR code shown in the slides. And after filling in the form, you will have the link to the pre-recorded video if you want to check that out. And all in all, thank you, Muazzim, for the knowledge that you've shared with us. Do you have any last quotes or shall we